quick disclaimer regarding the elephant in the room, J.K. Rowling's controversial opinions. I am someone who chooses to separate the art from the artist, and I just don't really pay attention to what she says. If you are someone who feels differently, you think I should boycott J.K. Rowling, or you think that J.K. Rowling is right, you're more than welcome to make a comment, and I will listen to what you have to say. I'm open-minded on the topic. With that gotten out of the way, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, or is it Azkaban? I'm going to say Azkaban, because that's what they say in the movie. The movie was one of my least favorites in the entire series, because it didn't make sense to me why any of it even mattered. Like, it was so hard to grasp any of it. I just didn't get it. But when I read the book this past month, it really clicked in my head as to why it all matters. Now, the first half of the book still was kind of boring, but then the second half really kicks everything in the ass. So, biggest part of it all is, I'm assuming you've already watched the movie and shit. And then I'm assuming you've already watched the whole series of the movies.
You ready to stop? You ready to stop?
You ready to stop? Oh shit. I'm not making the road work ahead joke. I have an urge, but I'm not going to do it because it's overdone. Alright, bucko. On your phone, you could get hit by a car. And
Bad
you wouldn't
boy
even know.
doesn't even care.
Bad boy thinks, not even looking at the oncoming traffic. Yeah, I'm standing here. I'm pretty cool with my stop sign. Oh, yep, looking down and all. Yep, looking at the stop. Yeah, you look at that stop sign.
I wonder if he can hear you.
He just looked up at his stop sign, bro. Just like, yeah, everything looks good. What the fuck was that? Thank you, man. Give him a little wave.
Yeah, because he saw you making fun of him.
Oh, man, did he? Do you think so?
I know he did.
You know he did?
I know he did.
Oh, no. Now I feel bad, man. That's fucked up. I'm a fucking asshole. This guy's just trying to do his job, man. He's probably got kids.
JK.
I'm no better than J.K. Rowling. I'm no better. Okay. The biggest thing about this book that the movie doesn't get right, in my opinion, is the Marauders. As you probably remember, Harry is given by Fred and George something called the Marauders map. This map allows him to see where everybody in Hogwarts is at any given time, with footsteps, and their names are written next to it. What the fuck is going on here, man? Am I gonna have to turn around? I think I'm gonna have to turn. Wait, no.
No, they were just saying hi.
Oh, they're just saying what's good? Alright, cool. You can see where everybody is in Hogwarts, and you can see all of the secret entrances and exits from Hogwarts. And there's like 3 or 4 of them, and Fred and George give it to Harry because he can't get to Hogsmeade. And I think that's part of the movie. I think you know that in the movie. And he goes through this little tunnel that's underneath some statue or something. But another one of the entrances is through, the the Whomping Willow. And I'll get to all this later because this is also important. Hogsmeade and the Whomping Willow and everything, and the Shrieking Shack. But what the movie doesn't get into is that the Marauders, so goddamn fucking windshield wipers, Fred and George found this map in Filch's office because they're always getting in trouble with Filch. And And can I just say I really like Filch. And one thing in the Chamber of Secrets, I didn't want to make a video about the differences between the book and the movie for the Chamber of Secrets, but because there aren't many, but one of them is that Filch is a squib. And I just love that word for one thing. Like, you fucking filthy little squib. Isn't that fun to say? And that means essentially that he was born in a wizarding family, but he's not magical. He can't do magic. I mean, it means you're a squib. And I just want to start calling people a squib, just as a general insult. Like, bitch. I'm going to start doing that. So, that's kind of the reason why Filch hates all these fucking kids at Hogwarts so much. By the way, Filch is like, I don't know, he's more of an involved character. It's always like, and Mrs. Norris, his cat. Oh my God, I haven't even talked about Mrs. Norris yet. She is like, does all the dirty work, bro. And it's almost as if Mrs. Norris and Filch can like communicate with each other, because she'll be catching Harry and Ron and Hermione doing all kinds of sneaky shit, and she'll report it right back to Filch. And Filch hates Peeves. He fucking hates the shit out of Peeves, dude. Peeves isn't even in the movies. He's a poltergeist that's very mischievous. He's a very mischievous poltergeist. And Filch hates him. He's always trying to throw Peeves out of Hogwarts, dude. And every time that like something falls in the castle, or there's some kind of disruption, Filch is all running around with his lamp going, Peeves! I'm gonna get you thrown out this time, Peeves. You're fucked. That's an aside. But Fred and George get this map from Filch's office, from one of the many times they've gotten in trouble with him. And they don't know who it's from, but it says in the movie that the map comes from Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. And you remember when Snape tells when Snape confiscates Harry's map in the movie, the map says we would like Snape to get his abnormally large nose out of everyone's business. When he tries to open up the map to see what's inside. And he like points his wand down and he's like, reveal your secrets. And so what the movie doesn't disclose is that the creators of that map are Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. They are Remus Lupin. He's a werewolf. Moony, he only turns into a werewolf on the full moon. Wormtail is Peter Pettigrew. For obvious reasons, he can turn into a rat. Padfoot is Sirius Black. He's a dog. Prongs is James Potter, Harry's dad. Because another thing about these dudes that the movie doesn't get into is that when Remus goes to Hogwarts and all of his friends, they're all in the same year, they're all best friends. But Remus, they discover that he's a werewolf, and he has to literally leave Hogwarts once a month to just go be a werewolf. And the Whomping Willow was put into Hogwarts the year that Remus and all of his friends, James, Sirius, and Peter, are enrolled, because Dumbledore made an accommodation for him. Werewolves are very discriminated against in the wizarding world. They weren't let into Hogwarts previously, but Remus was such a talented wizard that Dumbledore made an accommodation and put in the Shrieking Shack. And whenever Remus was about to turn into a werewolf, he would go to the Whomping Willow, step on the little part of the Whomping Willow that makes it stop whomping. And he would go through that tunnel. Remember I told you about the secret tunnel? And you see it in the movie. It leads to the Shrieking Shack in Hogsmeade. And all that shrieking that people have heard in the shack was Remus turning into a werewolf. So he would go to the Shrieking Shack so that he could not hurt anyone as a werewolf and still go to Hogwarts. His friends, James, Sirius, and Peter, spend years learning how to become animagi, which is illegal. It is illegal in the wizarding world to become an unregistered animagus, meaning you can turn into an animal. But they all learn how to do it, and it's also really fucking hard to do, by the way. Really, hardly anyone knows how to do it. And it's really difficult, but they all do it because they love Remus so much. And Peter kind of does it because he's just kind of their little bitch boy, and he follows them around, and that's why he rats on them to Voldemort type shit. But yeah, those are the Marauders. They are the original troublemakers of the school. And it's so funny, and it makes it so much more heartbreaking to find out that Peter was the one to betray James Potter and Lily Potter to Voldemort. And the reason it's him who betrays them is because of something called the Fidelius charm. I don't think the movie gets into this, but it basically means that you have a secret and you don't want anybody to spill it. I think the Fidelius charm is something where you pick a secret keeper, and that's the only person who could ever reveal the secret, even if anyone else kind of knows the secret. It like completely prevents them from telling anyone. Peter was the secret keeper for James and Lily Potter, so only he could have revealed what the address, or like how to find Lily and James. It was supposed to be Sirius. All four of them were best friends, but Sirius and James were like siblings, you know? But Sirius said he couldn't do it. I forget why. I think maybe he didn't trust himself, something like that. But yeah, the Shrieking Shack in Hogsmeade, I don't know if they go into that in the movie. I don't remember them doing so, but there's something called the Shrieking Shack there that people visit the outside of, I believe. And there's so many rumors of it being haunted because of all the shrieking that used to go on in it. But the shrieking was literally just Lupin turning into a werewolf and being a werewolf. So that's fucking crazy, dude. So that is the main thing that is different from the movie, is it just goes into such detail about these four friends. Sorry, Abby. They were best friends, and it's so tragic what happened to all of them. Now, I think that's the main thing we're going to talk about, but also Snape. We're going to talk about Snape because he was at Hogwarts at the same time as the Marauders, and they just fucking hated each other. Snape was trying to get them caught, trying to get them in trouble with all these hijinks that he knew he was up to it. He knew what was going on, and he was suspicious of it. And James saved Snape's life, quote unquote. According to Snape, it was just James trying to save his own ass, so to speak. But what happened was Sirius was trying to get back at Snape for trying to get them into trouble by leading him into the Shrieking Shack and getting him attacked by Lupin, who was currently a werewolf, because Sirius fucking hated Snape, and so did James. But James stepped in and warned Snape. And Snape does not really thank James very much for this, because in Snape's view, James was trying to just save himself. Now, what else is missing from the movies? Cedric Diggory is introduced in the third book, not introduced until the fourth movie. He's the captain of the Hufflepuff Quidditch team, and when Harry is playing Quidditch and the Dementors get him and they lose the game, that was to Cedric Diggory's team, and Cedric Diggory has caught the snitch as soon as Harry hit the ground, because he didn't know the game was he didn't know it happened, and then he actually felt bad after the fact. All right, that might be it for today. Oh, another interesting detail, the guy who's executing Buckbeak, you know, that guy who's like all pissed off that he can't kill Buckbeak, and so he takes the axe and he fucking slaughters a big ass pumpkin. That guy was an ex-Death Eater, and he rejoined Voldemort right when he came back into power. And he became an executioner because he loved killing things. So that's an interesting detail that I don't believe the movies get into. Another thing is Professor Trelawney and Professor McGonagall. Professor Trelawney's the divination professor. She and McGonagall have some slight beef because none of Professor Trelawney's divination predictions really come true, except for one of them. And Dumbledore just kind of keeps her there for reasons that are gotten into later in the movies. I think even the movies get into them. Has to do with Harry's prophecy. But Trelawney keeps telling Harry that he's gonna die. All of her predictions are just so dark, and she just tells everybody that they're gonna fucking die. And like she starts off each semester by telling at least one student that they're gonna die. And McGonagall does not like this. She thinks divination is a piece of shit subject. And Hermione also has beef with Trelawney because of this exact reason. I'm spitting a lot in this video. I'd like to apologize for my spit. One last thing. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that'll be the video. One extra thing is Crookshanks, Hermione's cat, actually becomes friends with Sirius in dog form, and he wins Crookshanks' trust, and Crookshanks kind of helps out. Although Crookshanks, I thought that Crookshanks was maybe going to turn into someone and be an animagus. Not the case. Just a cat, but a smart cat. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for the video. Yeah, the book, this is one of my favorite books in the Harry Potter series, one of my least favorite movies, and yeah, I liked it a lot. All the books are really enjoyable. This one is maybe specifically stands out. So that'll be all for the video. And my name is Luke. This is Castles in the Air. And goodbye.